I've got a golden ticket.
That's a winner!
All right, guys, welcome to DraftKings at Casino Queen, the winning ticket 21. Clemson John, Damian, and David again on this Thursday, October the 26th. So it looks like we are moving into week 9 in college football and week 8 in the NFL. So firing off tonight.
Let's get it out of the way.
What burn? It's been a rough year.
We're going to say this is going to be a cat-free broadcast.
Russell's not joining us.
No cat sounds or cat videos, and I wasn't even planning on talking about any team.
I will
It's
tell
a
you
cat-ridden team.
I got some feedback, and some people thought it was kind of we were kind of boring. Jazz and the dogs were interesting. So I guess it made it go Russell.
There was a famous coach that once said, "We don't need no cats in here. We need more dogs." Coach David Bennett, Coastal Carolina. We need more dogs. But yeah, it was a good week 8. The Tigers had a very frustrating game, but that's kind of who we have been this year. Lead the country in turnovers or fumbles. 10 fumbles on the year. Also, one of the worst red zone teams because we fumble when we get to the 1-yard line. It's like Casper the Ghost comes and takes the ball out of our hands before we cross the goal. That's not an excuse. It's just unbelievable. It's just I've never seen anything like it. It's so weird.
Shipley, I wonder how much he gets.
Just kind of average, whatever star player gets us.
I mean, he had a whole shelf of T-shirts. Just him.
Yeah, ship happens.
Yeah, ship happened.
Ship happens.
Ship won't leave.
Well, ship has happened this year.
Yeah.
Ship has happened in the
How many
form of
times has
fumbles.
he fumbled?
4. Seems like 4 times, I think. Maffa had 1 fumble, the other running back, but he hasn't fumbled since then. Maffa's been pretty secure with the ball, but it's just frustrating because we have all the talent in the world. You look at receiver, we've got 3 receivers that most schools would love to have. Shipley's got talent, but it just seems like he's lost this year. He gets the ball and just runs into the pile over and over again. So, Cade's been up and down. You know, Cade hasn't played as good as I thought he could be. He's not played as good as his talent is, and that's the frustrating part. I mean, you watch DJ from the last 2 years. You watch Cade this year. Cade makes throws that DJ could never make. But he just falls asleep half the time. So that's just been who we've been this year. You know, fumble the ball, give games away. So no surprise there. It's no surprise that we lost the game, but we also could have won the game by 2+ scores. So that's just who we've been. I don't know. We're 9-point favorites against NC State this week, though. 9-point favorites. I don't know if we'll be able to score 9 points. No, I'm joking. You know, we'll get 9 points, but it's hard to lay 9 points with Clemson this year. They play way below their talent. So that's kind of who we've been. Penn State, Ohio State last week. Ohio State's defenses look really good. 20-12. They had it 20-6 most of the game.
No, it was a one-score game for all but
Or Penn State had 6 points most of the game.
Yeah, Penn State had 6 for most of the game. It was a 13-6 game, so there was 5 minutes left. Ohio State scored to make it 20-6. Penn State gets the obligatory touchdown 30 seconds left.
Yeah, the Ohio native Drew Aller did not look good. no surprise there. A Penn State quarterback hasn't looked good in a long time against Ohio State.
There was a lot of people thinking that he was like legitimate NFL prospects. Is this the first real defense he played this year? I didn't see it.
No. He had Will Levis wrote all over.
Is it fuzzy or you can't hear him?
Might be for the best.
I can hear you just fine. It's really loud in the casino tonight. Louder than normal. It says, my audio is terrible.
I don't really want to get it too close because I don't want to be breathing into the microphone.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah,
of,
let me try to play producer real quick. I'll use it to see what I can do.
It's really loud.
I honestly don't hear it. I honestly don't think it seems to be any louder than normal.
Was it? No NBA for me tonight.
I don't see it.
Rod with the Hokies tonight.
I'm not.
Little fan participation here. But, yeah.
I would actually think it might be a good bet to get a double-double like the gentleman said in this game. Phoenix is without Booker, without Bradley Beal. They're kind of a donut team
Barely
now.
hear you.
Just barely hear me.
Testing.
I hear you just fine.
Yeah, I know.
Here, I'll load it up.
Barely hear me too. We're gonna try to get this. Chief Russell.
A lot of background.
Yeah, there's a lot of background. Sure, we got it on the right. We may not even have it on this. We may not have it on the right audio. Hang with us, guys. Make sure you get it.
Is that any better?
Very quiet. Damien is a little bit louder, and John is what?
John hasn't said it much here. He's trying to fix it.
I've changed one setting.
He changed the setting, hopefully.
It sounds like John is screaming. Maybe I don't have the right setting. Any better, guys?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. You're supposed to be number 2. You are. John's number 3. I'm number 1. How's that?
Who's the quietest? You or Dave? You. That's what I'm saying. Switch. If one of you are quieter and I'm louder.
Why don't you two switch? You two switch. Anybody hear me okay? Is that better?
Is this,
John is fine, other 2 poor.
is this better?
That's better.
Yeah, we'll see if that's a little bit better. Just let us know, guys.
Probably are. We need adjustments, maybe. See if we get a hold of Russell. This is what happens when we try to play producer without Russell. Sometimes we get lucky, the settings get lucky.
I think we're fine. It's just the background. The background's coming in.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
The background's coming in is the problem.
Where's Russell? Yes, I know. Can barely hear David. The other 2 fine? Are the other 2 fine?
This will. I found a setting. Maybe that'll help.
You found a setting.
I found another setting.
Okay.
Another setting.
All right. We're trying. We're working on it.
This works. Let's see if this works a little bit better. I did change one setting in here.
All right, David.
Yeah, that's much better.
All
that's
good.
much better. Yep.
Oh, good.
That's much better.
Producer
We found it.
John.
Came to the rescue.
Producer John. What was the setting? What was the different setting?
7, 8. I just didn't have the.
You didn't have it set right?
No, I had the out, but not the in. It's fixed. That's all.
You had the outie, not the innie.
It's all. It's fixed. All that matters. Yep.
All right, there, stop. It's perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. We got the outie, not the innie, and the innie
Yep.
is in.
Well, speaking of bad starts, that's kind of what.
Last week we didn't even have any volume on. We forgot to turn the. Was that a couple weeks ago? We didn't. We like the first 5 minutes. You couldn't even. We weren't even on.
That's 2 weeks ago.
That's 2 weeks ago. That's right. Last week with Russell, we were fine.
Yeah.
Where's Russell?
Yeah. Where's
That's
Russell?
That's the
It's
question.
like, where's Waldo?
Yeah. Where is
Where's
he?
Russell?
Russell.
We need him.
Wait.
But we got it fired up, guys. We're doing good. Speaking of slow starts, though, we had kind of a Penn State start, didn't we? Yeah, that was a pretty bad start.
It wasn't terrible. At least they could hear something.
Yeah.
And then we don't have cats running around the screen,
Yeah.
screaming cats. No,
But
right.
no, don't expect Drew Aller on any of your draft boards, David. He's kind of a Will Levis. You remember Will Levis?
I personally do not.
Kentucky draft, quarterback
if I remember
draft.
right, you were big on Will Levis.
No.
I remember.
No, I was not big on Will Levis.
I was crushing Will Levis.
You hated him. I hated him. Everybody
I
hated him.
was crushing Will Levis, and I
Says-
told you Anthony Richardson would be 100 times better.
I didn't know about Anthony Richardson. I wasn't big on Anthony Richardson, but I didn't like Will Levis at all.
John, it says you don't even need a microphone.
No, I wouldn't. I didn't. Will Levis, no go.
That's
Where's
funny.
he at anyway?
Looks like he's going to start for Tennessee this week.
The Titans. Oh, that's right. Because Malik Willis is gone.
No, he's still there.
He's just not starting.
I think
He's not a quarterback.
I think they're going to see what. I think they're going to
See what Levis can do.
I think they're going to have plays for both of them. I think Malik Willis may be like the short yardage, quarterback, and maybe run some gadget plays with him, and
How am I wearing a Clemson Tiger shirt and you not?
You got one when we went to the game.
he's embarrassed.
It's the only one I have. I should have two. But
Yeah.
I only one I have.
Yeah.
You
The
play-
Tennessee Titans will be the same old story, though, guys.
Yeah. Well,
Same old story with the Tennessee Titans. They do just good enough to get beat in the first round of the playoffs, right?
they won't-
Move that a little closer to you. Just a little.
You won't see the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs this year.
No?
Don't worry about that.
Okay. What's their record?
They're 2-4, maybe.
Ooh, really? Ouch.
Yeah, they're the weakest team in their division, and they just traded their best guy in the secondary to the Eagles for two late round draft picks next year.
Ooh.
There's speculation you may see Derrick Henry moved. NFL trading deadline, I believe, is Halloween.
Mm.
There's speculation you may see Derrick Henry moved Monday or Tuesday next week. The Titans are basically Titans have been actively trying to trade DeAndre Hopkins and have found no takers. So I think the Titans are potentially just saying, all right, we know we suck. Ryan Tannehill sucks, and our secondary sucks, and we're just going to rebuild the organization, tank the rest of the season. So
Yeah, Titans are in a world of hurt, I guess. Will Levitt's going. He is going against the Falcons at home.
Yeah, I actually picked up the Falcons in fantasy and I'm just starting their defense.
Yeah.
Atlanta's defense is actually pretty good, but this is
Is DeAndre Hopkins still out?
no, he's playing.
Oh, wow. So Levitt's will have Hopkins. That won't hurt.
It's Treylon Burks. I guess he's finally practicing after 3 weeks. But like I said, Tennessee's bad.
Yeah, they are in a world
What about
of
this,
hurt.
John? I know you want to talk about this. The sign steal.
Yeah, Connor Stallions. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I mean, so for those of you who don't know, Connor Stallions, I guess Michigan paid this guy. He was on the Michigan payroll to travel to different games last year, within the last couple of years, and scout the other teams and their signs. So when Michigan played them, they put in a sign. The Michigan sideline would relay to the defense immediately. They throw their hands up in the air like this for pass. So the defense knows it's a pass. I don't know how I feel about that. What's that?
While you're talking about that, I'm watching the power slap match. Look at this. People do this for a living.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Can you bet on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, Connor Stallions,
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean,
Oh, everything I've read on this is it's really, really bad.
yeah, it's really bad as far as they absolutely did it.
Oh,
They
I'm gonna tell.
absolutely did
I
it.
mean, like
There's no hiding it. But how do you feel about them doing it?
what his job, it wasn't just him doing. Oh no, it's absolutely illegal.
Yeah,
The NCAA, it's against the NCAA rules. There's no
Okay.
question it's against
Yeah,
the NCAA rules.
that's true.
This guy, what he did, every road game or every team that Michigan had on their schedule, his job was to go. He got a prime seat across the field from the Michigan opponent from later in the season, and he was literally hold up his cell phone and videotape the coaches for the other team sending in the plays and the signals. And Michigan would then do the, obviously they would have those signals and be able to decipher what plays were being run, figure out what was going on, both offensively and defensively from the signals. And
yeah, there's games after that. You can see the Michigan sideline. There's 20 people on the sideline throwing up their hands for pass, and they relay it to the defense.
Not only was he doing it, he was paying other people to also go to other stadiums and doing it. It wasn't just him.
Yeah.
They have like 11 different people that he was buying tickets for. So basically, at these stadiums, and they were just seeing if, like, making sure that the signs were consistent for each game. And Michigan's been able to, and this has been over the last 2 years. Michigan's been able to decode these signals in a lot of these games. Now, like some people are like, well, you still got to stop the play. You can know what's coming. If I know what's coming, I got a hell of a lot better chance of stopping the play. It's if you know a team's going to send a blitz, you can run a screen or a draw, and your chances of beating the blitz are considerably better.
Absolutely.
This is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Michigan fan either way. Don't care either way. I think Michigan should be banned from the bowls. I think they should. They should put on probation immediately and banned. I think they should have no chance to be in a bowl game. I absolutely. That's exactly how I feel. To me, this is worse than what the Patriots were doing, taping the sidelines.
Yeah, he had a title on this. Analyst Italians.
Yeah, this is worse. This is worse than the Patriots scandal when they were videotaping other teams' practices. This is worse. I'm going to tell you that I'd be willing to lay a lot of money that Mr. Harbaugh will not be the coach of Michigan next year. I think he will silent out.
Really?
Maybe go to the Chargers. I'm sure the Chargers are going to fire that idiot Charger now.
Yeah.
And the Chargers have a lot of talent to work.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh can go right to or Jim Harbaugh. He can go right to the Chargers and have a legitimate roster right from the get-go. And, it's going to be, or maybe potentially the Bears. The Bears are going to have probably 2 top 7-8 picks in the draft. The Bears could get Caleb Williams. Yes, I don't think Justin Fields is the answer. But the Bears could get Caleb Williams and another pick. They give their team over to Harbaugh. He can remake that team in what he wants because he's going to get whatever he wants. And you can do pretty much whatever you want in the NFL. I think Harbaugh he knows he's kind of skated on some other stuff he's done that are very, very questionable, shady. Like he got the 3-game suspension that was, the 4-game that was cut to 3-game suspension before the season this year. The NCAA's pretty much got it out for him. He's pulling a lot of garbage. I really believe Michigan should be banned from the bowl game and from the BCS playoff.
So this says a New York Post article says Connor Stallion stole opponent signals during the week watching TV copies, then flew to the game after he stole the signals and stood next to the then Michigan offensive coordinator, Josh Gaddis, and told him what coverage / pressure he was getting.
Yeah.
So the offensive coordinator knows what coverage and pressure he's getting. If it's a blitz, if it's a zone, if it's a man, if the pressure's coming from this side or pressure's coming from that side. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
this is this is really next level cheating here. If you can put the signals during the game, more power to you. I have no problem with a guy watching the game trying to figure out the signals. Because if it's that easy to figure out, you tip your cap. But when you can videotape the signals and rewatch the game back and figure out what's going by the hand signals, because that's how, especially on the road, that's how these teams tell their players how to set up. I mean, they know what's coming because they can't. You can't hear the signals in a lot of these times in these road games. The defenses.
Yeah, and Michigan's gotten suspiciously better the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
Very suspiciously better. They went from a 6-6, 7-5 team every year to 10-2, 11-1, like overnight. I wonder how. Now we're finding out how.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I want nothing. Now, of course, Michigan had the easiest schedule in college football up until this point. They've played literally nobody up until this point. Even Georgia's had a more difficult schedule at this point than Michigan has.
Yeah, they play 2 games basically at Penn State and Ohio State.
Yeah,
outside of that, they play no.
I believe they play Maryland.
They go to Maryland. I mean, Maryland's defense is just
okay.
so bad.
But
if Maryland had an ounce of defense, they'd be a lot better.
But I mean, literally the toughest team. I can't even name the toughest team Michigan's played this year. Maybe Rutgers.
Yeah, it's rough.
Maybe Rutgers.
It's got to be Rutgers, I guess.
And Rutgers is awful.
Yeah.
And that's the best.
And they got Rutgers at home.
Yeah, that's the best team they've played all year, Rutgers.
Yeah. I mean, it's been rough. I'm a believer in it's not who you play, it's how you play. But with this sign stealing stuff, you don't know what's been going on all year. You really don't. I mean, Michigan's allowed 3, 7, 6, 7, 7. They hadn't allowed 2 touchdowns all year. So it's easier to stop the team if you know what's coming.
Yeah. Well, they haven't played anybody all year either. None of those teams you see on that list can score anyway.
I mean, there's been a lot of schools that hadn't had a tough schedule that's went on to dominate things. I mean, you look at Clemson 2018, Clemson 2019. They ran through their schedule, didn't they? Ran through Notre Dame and Alabama. So it can happen. I believe it's how you play, not who you play. But in this case, there's a scandal going on where they know what's coming before it happens.
And none of those teams are offensive juggernauts.
No, none of these teams are. Yeah.
None of them.
I mean, none of them. Yeah.
Most of those teams couldn't score with pardons in a women's prison. I mean, that's how they are anemic offensively. Yeah. So it's really horrific what Michigan's done.
John, check the chat. See if there's anything on it.
I thought you were looking at it.
I don't get this. I can't see everything. I can only see what's on YouTube.
Make this very clear. I'm not an Ohio State fan. I'm not a Penn State fan. Not a Michigan fan. I could care less about. I enjoy watching the Michigan-Ohio State game. I enjoy really great rivalries and watching those games. I could care less about any of those 3 teams. This is not me having a vendetta or feeling a certain animosity toward anybody. I don't. Harbaugh doesn't bother. None of this stuff. He hasn't done anything that's really bothered me that I really cared about. This is just so completely over the top, ridiculous cheating that I personally can't stand it. I can't stand cheats. I can't stand liars. I can't stand thieves.
Yeah.
And
I think you just said it all.
It's rough. It's a rough time for Michigan. A lot of people are going to be cheering against them. That's for sure. Moving up the top 10, Florida State kind of takes. They were down 20-17 at the half against Duke, Duke just fell asleep in the second half.
Well, in the late in the third quarter, Duke's quarter Riley Leonard plays the first half and into the second half
with a messed up ankle.
He gets re-injured late in the third quarter, and Duke's up 20-17. He gets injured late in the third quarter. By the way, I'm getting 17.5 in this game. So,
oh wow! Yeah. Loses by a 1.5.
Yeah. So Duke's got a 4th and 3 at the Florida State 7-yard line and bring in the backup quarterback.
Wow.
And what do? Yep. They go for it with a completely ice cold backup quarterback, and your stud quarterback just getting hurt. Well, of course, Florida State stops them, and Florida State proceeds to go on a 17-play, 3 or 94-yard drive. It takes up 8 minutes and scores.
Yeah,
And then
uncharacteristic of Mike Elko. He's made good decisions this year.
And then Florida State gets a Florida State. I believe they got a turnover and went down and scored immediately to make it 31-20. Then Clemson had the ball on like their own 40, went for it on 4th down with like 5 minutes left. It got stopped, and Florida State scores, of course, the obligatory front door cover, instead of the back door cover. Florida State front door covers and beats me. So, yeah, I was not very thrilled about that one. But
yeah, so Florida State does just enough again. They seem to be doing just enough in a lot of spots this year. So we'll see. I mean, I think I'm going to be cheering for the Louisville Cardinal to go to the ACC championship game and play them. So Louisville plays Duke this week. We'll get into that later. Washington, the Washington Huskies win a game 15-7 against the Sun Devils. They kicked 5 field goals. Where was Michael Penix? They kicked 5 field goals. Penix 275, threw for 275 yards, 2 interceptions.
My Sun Devils suck.
Well, yeah, that's no surprise. They're 1-6.
They've actually played a lot better these last couple of games.
They
I
played.
mean,
they played USC good.
Yeah.
Remember, Washington just played Oregon. That was like their Super Bowl. And if you remember, that's why when we were talking last week about Oklahoma and playing UCF, and I told you if Oklahoma wasn't on their bye, I'd be all over UCF in the points, and I still kind of like UCF in the points in that game. John nailed that one. It's the same way. Washington was hung over from the Oregon game. It's simply all it was. Now that was their Super Bowl was playing Oregon. They were probably emotionally spent, and they had a tough time with Arizona State, who managed to hang in on that game. And Washington covers rather easily. Arizona State covers that game very easily.
It's 7-0 at the half, or 7-3 at the half, I believe. Ugh. Wow, that was a surprise. I thought Washington would score some points.
What was the line in that game?
Strange.
That was 20.
It'd be a big 20. Washington minus 20 or
something.
something.
That was one of the few dogs I hit right. There was like 24.5.
24.5, yeah.
Or 27.5.
Yeah. Yep. Washington at home. Sun Devils going to Seattle. Big, crazy game there. They win with 5 field goals. Nobody would have seen that coming. If there was a prop on Washington touchdowns minus a half, wow. That thing would have paid 25-1. It would have been a big prop for them not to score a touchdown with the Heisman leader coming in. Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners, 17-point favorites, barely eased by Gus Malzahn and the UCF Knights. Central Florida going to Norman, Oklahoma. 29-31 final. Oklahoma squeezing by. This game was 17-17 at the half. Just Oklahoma not impressive on defense. I mean, I said if they can hold UCF to 17 points, win this game and cover, then we might need to talk about Oklahoma as a playoff contender. Not after that week, though.
No, that's a hangover game for Oklahoma. Don't put too much into it.
They've had games like this, though. Oklahoma.
That's the first game Oklahoma's really been in trouble in. And they won the game. It was the perfect spot for UCF in that game. Oklahoma's playing a team that they don't care about. They've never really played before. They just played Texas, their Super Bowl. It was just the perfect spot for UCF to catch Oklahoma not emotionally ready.
I'm just ready for Oklahoma to get that Brent Venables defense. I just hadn't seen it.
Well, he's only been there for a year and a half.
This is his second year. I know.
That's what I mean. He hasn't.
I know.
He's only had really one full recruiting class.
Yeah, we thought we had it after the first 4 games of the year. They put up 0 against a cupcake. SMU scores 11. That was okay. Do we have Brent Venables defense here? Tulsa scores 17. That was a sleeper. And they go to Cincy, and Cincy don't even find the end zone. They hold to 6. They blow out Iowa State. Iowa State scores 20. So we were like, wow, these are looking like the Brent Venables defenses. And then Texas scores 30, and then UCF scores 29. So it's like, what are we going to find when Oklahoma rolls into Kansas this week with Kansas catching, what is that line?
About 10. I know that.
10?
Yeah, it's very close to 10.
9-10. It's Oklahoma minus 9 is what I see right now.
Kansas had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So this is, like I said, this is another spot for Oklahoma. it's it's a trick. This one's a tricky spot for them. If Oklahoma would have looked good last week, I'd really love Kansas this week. I'll still take Kansas in 10, but it's not as I'm not as overwhelmed. I generally like to bet on a good team that come off a bad performance, and I like to generally bet against a good team coming off a great performance.
And
So-
Texas going to Houston, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead. So it's like Texas might cover this 21-point spread. No, Texas. I guess Quinn Ewers got hurt. They said. When did he go down? Did you see that,
It
Damien?
was either late in the third or early in the fourth.
Late in the third quarter, early in the okay.
Yeah, I know.
So he was there in the first half when it was a 21-14 game.
Yeah,
So
and Texas. I was just talking to somebody right before we started today. Texas is laying 17.5 to BYU.
Yep.
The backup quarterback that came in for Texas is a freshman. He went he was either 1 for 7 for 6 yards or 1 for 6 for 7 yards in the last quarter that he played. Okay, he's going to have the full week to prepare for this game. BYU's, a veteran senior laden roster. They always are, because all their players have to go for that 2-year Mormon mission. So they're
Right.
always more mature, a little older. The weather's not going to be a factor. Like, earlier this year, BYU went down to TCU and got absolutely rolled when the temperature was 98 degrees and the heat index was 110, and TCU blew out BYU.
Yep.
And weather's not going to be a factor in this game for Texas and BYU. BYU's not going to melt in that heat. It won't be that extreme heat. You're getting 17.5 with like I said, the more veteran dominated team against a freshman quarterback who's he's athletic but shaky arm. I'm gonna take the 17.5 with Texas or with BYU. Excuse me.
yeah, I was looking at it too. I kind of like BYU as well in that spot. Biggest upset of the week: the Wahoos. Charlottesville, Virginia says hello. Tony Elliott with the big upset. 23.5-point dogs goes to Chapel Hill, beats North Carolina 31-27. Big win for Virginia and Tony Elliott. So they do. North Carolina does this every year. They either lose to Georgia Tech, they lose to NC State, or they lose this time to Virginia. Virginia was 1-5. Now they're 2-5. But yeah, just North Carolina. They do it every year, Damien.
Yeah, they're consistent at throwing in a real stinker against a really bad team.
Yeah.
And they find a way to lose a game. You're like, what the hell just happened? And
Yeah.
that's what happened.
North Carolina was minus 2,500 on the money line. So you'd have probably gotten 12-1 on the other side. 12 to 15-1 on the other side. If you'd have took Virginia. So that was the big shocker of the week for sure, with North Carolina going down. They were undefeated.
I'll tell you, to me, anybody who watched the Alabama-Tennessee game, that may have been the most one-sided officiated college football game I've seen this year. That game was a joke. I mean, Alabama got 7 or 8 very questionable calls, spots, and every single
They're
one
down
of them,
21-7 at the half, I believe.
every single
Or 20-7.
questionable thing that could happen went their way. Every single one of them. There wasn't one where you're like, that went Tennessee's way. I mean, Tennessee had to beat 2 teams, and they couldn't do it because the officials gave that game to Alabama. That was, now, granted, the Tennessee coach made a couple of, questionable play calls and decisions, but he probably was so exasperated by the officials and what was going on in that game that he felt like he had to. Oh my God, I just go watch. There's got to be some sort of YouTube thing. Some Tennessee fan had to put something there. It was just so many of them, and they were so egregious and so shady. I mean, it was almost like the fix was it. It was almost like the refs bet Alabama to cover the 8.5 or 9.5, whatever it ended up at.
Yeah, this is how Nick Saban's going to win games this year. Jace McClellan, the running back,
bad.
27 carries. Jalen Milroe, the quarterback for Alabama, 21 pass attempts. So Saban's throwing the ball 21 times. The other running backs another running back rather. Rodell Williams got 6 carries, so 33 carries, 21 pass attempts. That's just how he's going to win the game this year.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, Tennessee had the game statistically, but like I said, they're questionable pass interference, questionable non-pass interference, questionable spots. You know, you're looking. I'm like, I could have swore he had the first down, and Tennessee has to punt. It's 4th and 1. Like, what is that? Or Alabama look like they're short of the first down. Somehow the spot is a full yard ahead of where it should have been. And even when they're reviewing it, you're like, they got to bring that back. No, they didn't.
Yeah, a little home cooking for Alabama
there was a lot of home cooking in that game.
What was the final?
34-20.
Yeah,
they got a touchdown.
Ended up covering. Yeah,
it was
yeah,
27-20, and they got Alabama got a defensive
getting,
touchdown to cover.
Yeah,
Tennessee was getting 8, right?
Yeah, it was 20-7 at halftime. Tennessee dominated the first half.
27-0 Bama in the second half.
Yeah.
It was wow.
Oh,
And like I said, I don't care about either team, but man, I'm calling a spade a spade. It was bad.
Who's Bama got left? Let's look and see who Bama has left.
They have LSU.
They go to Auburn. LSU has, let's see
They
here.
have LSU at home.
LSU, Bama goes to Kentucky. That's nothing. So they got 2 games left, basically, that I think they could have a shot maybe at losing. LSU and Auburn.
Alabama's got 2 weeks to prepare for that
LSU game
coming next week.
Funny how they set that up.
No, they were smart.
How Greg Sankey set that up, the SEC commissioner. So Bama's got a bye week this week, and then LSU comes to town. Hopefully LSU can find a defense for 4 quarters. If they do, then they might have a shot. They go to Kentucky. They got the November 18th sleeper game they always have before Auburn. They play Chattanooga, and then they go to Auburn. I mean, maybe Auburn might give them a game. Who knows? I mean, maybe it's a feisty rivalry game.
Well, it's a road game, so
but
Auburn will have a shot.
If LSU have 1 conference loss or 2 losses?
1 conference loss.
Yeah, to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Wow. So if Ole Miss runs the table and finishes with 1 loss, and Bama Bama loses 1 game, then Ole Miss will play in the SEC championship game. Now Ole Miss has to run the table, so we'll see if that happens. But hey, Ole Miss needs Bama to lose 1 game. Ole Miss can never beat Bama. Lane Kiffin can never beat Nick Saban.
If LSU beats Alabama and all 3 teams have 1 loss, then it'll go to the crazy tiebreaker that the SEC uses.
Oh, Bama only has 1 loss. That's right. They don't have 2 conference. They don't have a conference loss.
No, they've only lost to Texas.
They only lost to Texas. That's right. So it won't go to Ole Miss. Never mind. I'm wrong about that. Bama, even if Bama loses 1 game, and it's not the LSU game, they're still in.
I think if LSU beats Alabama, they would end up being the highest ranked.
LSU would.
Team.
Well, LSU would own the tiebreaker, but
no, because then it would be a round robin. All 3 teams would have beat each other.
Yeah.
Then the SEC takes the highest ranked team.
Oh, that's the tiebreaker.
That's if it's a round robin with all 3 teams.
All 3 teams beating each other.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the tiebreaker. Is the highest.
They leave it up to the poll, huh?
The highest ranked team. Wow. Because they want the highest ranked team against
It will not be Ole Miss then.
No, it will not be Ole Miss.
They will not rank Ole Miss above Bama and allow Nick Saban and Bama to be sitting out.
Bama's ranked 8th? I believe they're 8th.
So Alabama's basically they're in an incredible spot. Or maybe whoever wins that LSU Alabama game, it's going to come down to that.
Yeah.
For the West. And for the East, we got a little surprise here. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
And then let's get into the surprise of the East.
We're going to take 2 or 4 minutes. Maybe one of the 2.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Then we'll get us into the surprise, guys. We got one. We'll be back.
golden ticket.
That's a winner!
I've got a golden ticket.
That's a winner!
You want me to say that?
Yeah. No little fan participation as we get back here at DraftKings.
No
at
client
Casino
too
Queen.
sleazy. Wait. No, it's okay. Wait, no. What is it, Josh? No client too sleazy. Okay, I'm sorry. Never mind.
All right, we'll skip the little fan participation comment.
No, our buddy
But-
Josh, attorney Josh. What was that? I can't get him in
Ah,
trouble. We're not gonna get him in trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I did say it on.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think we'll be all right.
But
He's
yeah.
funny. He's a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk into casinos and sports books across America, you're going to find some characters. That's the fun part of it, you know. And he is definitely added to the character list. Check for sure. No, you guys don't know him, but he's
They
he's
know
a
him.
character.
They
Well,
know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there may be some people watching that don't know him. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We run into so many people that we know through poker down here, and they just try to sneak right by. They can't get by us. We're right in front of the sports book. So if there's nobody sneaking in to make a bet without us seeing them, we're not telling on them.
Right. Yep.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
little action started tonight already with the Hokies kicking off in Blacksburg. That's one of the best entrances in the country. You ever seen that entrance before? The Virginia Tech enter the stadium.
What's it? What
They walk with a lunch pail around the
they
stadium.
each have a lunch pail?
No, they have a main one. It's like a
Okay.
main lunch pail.
Okay.
So the captain carries it, and
They all can't eat out of
it's
that.
kind of a blue collar thing, you know.
Yeah, I understand, but they can't
It's
all
the
eat out of
Hokies
it.
up
There's
in
not
the
enough food.
mountains.
Not enough food for 100 football
It's a
players. nothing.
landmark, Dave.
I get it.
Yeah. But you're not going to have 120 lunch pails. But anyway, they walk in the stadium with the lunch pail. They play Enter Sandman. They play Metallica. So it's one of the best
I've
entrances
seen
in
that.
the country.
Yeah. No, I like it. I never noticed the lunch pail. Welcome back, Damien.
Yeah, Damien back from getting us some plays in. Getting
Yeah?
us some
Yeah.
we had to.
plays in for tonight.
All right, we do have to go over at some point. What, Damien? We have our first touchdown. We've done really well this year on Thursday nights. I think we've only missed a couple, right? We did the
Yeah.
first 4. So how many have there been? This is week 7.
And we didn't play
So
1 week. So
yeah, we didn't play. So we've only lost 1 week on Thursday night. So
Yeah,
who do we have tonight? First touchdown.
for Tampa, we took Chris Godwin. And for Buffalo, I took Dalton Kincaid, the tight end. Tonight, I have my huge prop bet tonight is Dalton Kincaid over 39.5 receiving yards. I've got quite a bit on that one tonight. That's my big one. So I actually played a lot of overs on the receiving for a lot of the players. The only one I didn't touch actually was Diggs. I got 3 different Bills over on the receiving yards. I got 3 different Tampa players over on the receiving yards. I got Baker Mayfield over his passing yards in this game. Buffalo's best cornerback is out, Tre'Davious White. Their safety is out. Their best coverage linebacker's out, Matt Milano. Ramondre Stevenson had 6 catches and 61 yards last week, and Rashad White is much better out of the backfield than he is running the football. Rashad White's receiving yards were 21.5. I played his over. Mike Evans is 57.5. I played his over. Godwin was 52.5. I played his over. I took Shakur for Buffalo. His was 19.5. And I took Kincaid for Buffalo at 39.5 over. Tampa's generally pretty good at stopping the run. Buffalo's not a great running offense. Tampa's defense, their secondary is very shaky, questionable, banged up. Obviously, I just told you Buffalo's secondary is very shaky, questionable, banged up. I also played a Buffalo over parlay. So I think there will be a lot of points in this game. I think there'll be a lot of passing yards in this game. And I think Buffalo's gonna win this game 34-21. Something along those lines. And I think Tampa may late score to get to 21.
I was going to say I don't think Tampa reaches 20.
Honestly, I thought about playing both prop bets and playing both teams over the total. Tampa was 16.5, and Buffalo was 26. And I thought about playing just both those two teams and playing both over the total. And I really think there'll be a lot of points in this game. So, last week I nailed the Jacksonville money line over parlay.
Yeah, we both did. Yeah, we all loved Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Last week we all loved Jacksonville, and that was easy. Well, it was easy till it wasn't. But I don't know how they let New Orleans right back in it. But that was scary for a moment.
That was a good game for me.
Yeah.
With that Jacksonville over parlay,
yeah.
I lost. The only prop bet I lost on that game was I missed the Olave's over by 6 yards.
Yeah, and then he dropped a pass that he would have got you there late.
Yeah. I'll tell you, like, one thing that
and he should have had it.
Remember last week I told you I'll bet Christian Kirk in that game. I had Christian Kirk to have the most receiving yards in that game. He had the most receiving yards in that game until Tampa's last drive, where Alvin Kamara caught him and passed him by 1 yard. Kamara ended up with 12 catches for 91 yards. Kirk ended up with 90 yards in the game. Going into the last drive, Kamara had 9 for 68. He ended up with getting 23 yards on the last drive with 3 catches, and the Kirk was plus 450 odds. So that was the only other thing I lost on that game last week. But yeah, that was rough, not missing that one. But well.
I'll tell you what.
The biggest, the roughest.
When you're done interrupting, let me know.
When the roughest of the rough was David's.
It was. No, I don't want to tell it. You tell it. You're doing a great job.
It wasn't just for David.
I know. It was ugly, though.
It was the roughest beat of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chargers and Chiefs scored 42 points.
That was so nasty, as that was my play of the week. 41 points at halftime. I need 7.5 points in the second half between those two teams. That was my lock of the week. I'm sick. But if I was here in Illinois, I would have bet. I would have middled
under
it.
65.5 or something.
Well, no, I would have taken the second half under.
I know, under 65.5.
I don't know if that what it was. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's about 24 and a half, 28 and a half. something.
I mean, how do you like that middle?
Yeah, you'd have a 16
Yeah,
point
16.
middle or
You don't. That doesn't exist very often.
something. No.
No. And I was like, I was sitting at home watching the fourth quarter. I'm like, why can we not bet here in Missouri? Because I'm going to take that middle and I'm going to break even at least on my bets because I'm at least going to hedge. Take that. I'm going to take the. No, it's not a hedge. I'm going to take that middle, try to hit both.
Mhm.
Right? That's pretty gross. Actually, Damien, I want to let you know what you. I don't know if you remember that the game you gave out last week was Baltimore. You said Baltimore would crush Detroit.
That was my mortal.
Yeah,
lock.
that was your
I told
lock.
That was my 5-star mortal absolute lock death game of the week. I said Baltimore would blow them out.
Game. Yeah, I didn't like that too much.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings had to go and beat San Francisco. I was counting on San Francisco to beat the Vikings for my season-long Detroit bet. That's kind of ugly.
I had that game. I had Kittle over his receiving yards in that game. Was my huge prop bet. So that was that game. I bet Addison to score the first touchdown in that game for Minnesota. He did. I had Addison over his yards. Monday night game was really, really good for me. Sunday was not so good for me. Now, granted, I hit Baltimore, which I told you was my complete mortal lock, but I had the Rams over also as one of my big bets last week, and the Rams field goal kicker decided he'd missed 2 field goals indoors, which cost me the over because the total was 43.5. Game ended at 41.
Well, I want to tell you, the last 3 weeks, I have lost $1,000 ticket, $800 to $1,000 ticket by a half a point. I've lost each week. I've lost my big parlay bet and lost by a half a point on one game. That's pretty unbelievable.
So
Just
from
need to hit
now
one.
on,
Well, I've moved the line, except the last one. I did not. I didn't move it like John would, 20 points.
not
but
20.
I'm
but
just saying.
4 or 5.
Okay, whatever.
We
But
need as much help as
the
we can
point,
get in this
the
one.
point being is I've lost 3 18 parlays by a half a point in the last 3 weeks.
And all 3 were not moved at all. All
No.
the loser of
It was moved, not the last week.
the
but
Falcons, the Chargers, and the other. What was the other one?
No, it was the Seahawks. I did move that by a point.
Oh,
I
well,
moved
that's
it.
not enough.
I understand.
We got to be moving at 4 and 5 points.
But
I know it kills the odds a little,
yes,
but it's 50 to win 600 instead of 50 to win 900. That's all.
I've lost 3 weeks in a row by a half a point. That's all I was making.
We need
You have
My
also.
point is we need as much help as we
You
can get in
have
this world.
also lost some really bad.
Yeah, but I moved one of them, Kansas. I had $1,000, $20 to win 1,000, and I lose Kansas plus 26.5. They lose by 27. I moved that line by 10 points and still lost.
Yeah. I am definitely going to start, if I'm playing the 8-teamers, moving the line at least a field goal. Because I'm pretty sick. I just want to hit one of those. I don't expect to hit really. But when you're that close,
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row, by a half a point, 3 8-teamers I've lost by a half a point.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty gross. Yep. So, I don't know if I've learned my lesson. I love that sick feeling in my stomach that turns over when I know I'm going to lose. It's 41 points at halftime, and I know I have no shot. After the third quarter, I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? And I win.
That's one of the worst I've heard this year.
If the Chargers win, if the Chargers score a touchdown, it's going to go over. It's 48. They push. It's going to go over in overtime, right? Unless they tie and don't want to score. But somebody's going to kick a field goal in overtime.
Yeah.
So the worst case scenario is Kansas City scores a touchdown and I lose by half.
That's one of the worst of the year.
What do you like? I like the over in tonight's game.
I already took mine. I took Virginia Tech.
I laid the points and played the over.
New Mexico State. Yep. Yeah, it's unbelievable how Sam Houston keeps losing games, everybody. The Sam Houston.
You didn't give us who you like.
The Bearcats.
Okay.
Everybody's on that Milwaukee and the
I got
Lakers tonight.
I got the under in the Suns game. Right? That's what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the World Series? Who's going to win it? No opinion.
Yeah.
Every underdog has won those series in the
Yep.
playoffs. I think I'm literally the only one. I might be. I can't think of a favorite that won a series in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a rough time for favorites in
thinking-
baseball in the playoffs.
I can't think of
Arizona, last team in, everybody.
Yeah.
Last team in. last team standing almost.
Yeah, I think every single underdog has won the series in those in the playoffs.
Yep.
So
Check the.
if you're going with that, you take Arizona. I personally like Texas in this series, but
Well, I am rooting for the Diamondbacks. They are my second favorite baseball team. I'm pretty close to Arizona as I am to Cardinals. Are always going to be number one. Hey, Shabby, the only one because I did live 16 years in the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
And I did go to the very first home game
Of the Diamondbacks?
of the Diamondbacks and the very first very first win by the Diamondbacks. I have both ticket stubs still in my cave.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I remember falling off a stool when they won the World Series against the Yankees.
Yeah.
I was so drunk. I was so
Yeah.
drunk.
Who hit that? Craig Counsell? No.
No.
He hit the 97.
No,
Luis Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember taking a shot as soon as they went home, and I fell off my stool at the bar. Got right back up though.
What was the Diamondbacks at the beginning of the year?
Oh, they had to be.
they were like the 20.
Yeah,
maybe 30 teams.
maybe 40, 50 to 1.
Way
50 to 1 is
No,
my
it'd be
guess.
bigger than that.
Is
Because,
it?
yeah, the worst teams are like 100 to 1.
Okay.
Let's look here.
Arizona was picked.
125 to 1.
Wow.
They were picked to finish fourth
Well, now you could hedge a little bit,
in their division.
John. You could hedge a little bit.
One of the biggest
what-
underdogs ever to make the World
What
Series.
were the Rangers?
$10 would have got you $12.50.
Okay. Well, what were the Rangers? And
Much better than
think
that.
if you bet $10 on the teams to make it to the World Series, and you had the range, and you already done Rangers, Diamondbacks. What that would have paid? You know, you can bet.
Listen to this. Arizona Diamondbacks are set to meet the Texas Rangers in the World Series. Let's just say if you predicted this matchup before the season,
That's what I'm asking.
you're lying or you're now filthy rich. The odds of these two teams facing off in the Fall Classic before opening day,
700 to 1.
1750 to 1.
Wow.
$1 would have got you $1,750.
Wow. Yeah, I like those bets at the beginning of the year. You forget about them,
Wow.
and then you look later. But there's no way. Not too many people had that. Hey, what's going on with our college game here, John?
Virginia Tech's driving up
They're
3-0.
and driving.
Hopefully going up 10-0.
Yeah.
I like the Hokies tonight.
All right. Hey, we got to get our
Like-
picks in. We're gonna have to start. You guys
Yeah,
want to take
let's.
it 2
well,
minute?
well, we gotta.
Oh, you're surprised.
Yeah, the
Let's do
SEC
that.
East. Let's get into the East a little bit.
John, we
A
got
little
we got a half hour.
A little hometown flavor cooking on the SEC East.
We got a half
Let's
hour.
take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
All right. We got a half hour for everything.
Maybe we got a little bit more.
No, we do not. I have to.
I've got a golden ticket.
That's a winner!
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, guys, welcome back to Casino Queen. This is a free lock given Thursday, is what I like to call it. We'll get into our picks. We'll get into that. First, I want to talk about the surprise of the SEC East, David. Where am I going with this? Any idea?
No clue. I'm not listening.
I'm going to Columbia, Missouri.
Hey, I'm becoming a two Tiger fan.
Okay.
Okay, Clemson Tigers. I'm now a fan.
Yeah.
Right. I
You
actually
know,
care what
everybody's
happens.
Mizzou fan. That's why I'm going there.
Yeah, well, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm becoming a Mizzou fan.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm becoming a Mizzou fan, and I'm not riding the wave. There's other reasons why I'm becoming a Mizzou fan.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter's planning on going to Mizzou.
Well, it's not the
So,
best wave to
well,
ride.
I'm just
but-
saying, but I am going to be Mr. Mizzou dad.
Oh.
I can't wait to go
Okay.
up on Saturdays and go to
Yeah.
football games,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Hang out
yeah.
with my daughter at the football game. How good does that sound?
Okay.
Sounds
She's
pretty
gonna
good.
want to hang out with you at the
That's-
football game. That's
I'm
what-
dad. If there's an envelope involved in me coming to visit, she'll probably spend the afternoon with me. What do you think about that?
I don't know. The envelope would have to be pretty weighted.
Yeah. Look, the guy doesn't laugh for a year, and he laughs at that. Got comedians here.
Mizzou's got a bye week this week. They will not lose this week. That's
Oh,
that's David's college football lock.
Yeah.
Mizzou not to lose this week. They don't
Uh,
play.
Can I get down on that somehow?
Yeah. Mizzou to win the bye week. That's his lock.
Yeah.
Georgia plays in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville, Florida, against the Gators. So they should take care of business against Florida. They're without Brock Bowers, who's going to be a top 5 draft pick.
He will not be a top 5 draft pick.
He'll be a top 5, top 10 pick.
Won't be a top 5 draft pick.
Top 10 then?
He's a tight end, probably not.
He's like what's wrong with taking like a Kelsey? You know, the guys that do everything tight end.
It's just they won't. The NFL teams won't draft him as a top 10 pick.
All right. Well, he's going to be a top draft pick.
He'll be a first round pick, clearly. He won't be a top 5 pick.
But
You got the kid. Williams will be a first round. He'll be a top 5 pick.
right.
Drake May will be a top 5 pick, although I'm not much in love with him. He's better than Will Levis. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be a top 5 pick. There's a couple of defensive linemen that'll be top 5 picks that are studs. But Blake Bowers, I'm guessing he goes to the top 15.
Yeah.
He's clearly first.
Touchdown, Georgia State. Thank you very much.
7-7. Okay.
Well,
Tell
7-7.
everybody what you got.
7-6 though. Well, I don't know if they missed the extra point. I don't know if they're still kicking it. I don't know. I don't know what's
You
going on.
tell everybody what you need on Georgia State. They don't know.
You made the ticket.
Oh, Georgia State plus 10.5, over 52.5 total, and over 24.5 first half.
Oh, it's 7-7
Yeah, 7-7. That game's going over 24.5.
with 5 minutes left in the first.
5 minutes left in the first quarter, and those two teams score like you wouldn't believe. I was impressed with Georgia State playing at Coastal Carolina this year.
7-7.
They blew them out. Yeah, they're going to make the extra point. That's no surprise. But, yeah. So after Georgia gets done with the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, Mizzou's going to have a bye week to prepare to go to Athens. They're going to be without Brock Bowers. That line, I'm going to say 10.5, David.
I'm taking the 10.5.
I'm going to say 10.5. Mizzou's got a shot here. They got a shot. If they can beat
Absolutely, they got a
Georgia,
shot.
if they can beat Georgia in Athens, they might be booking their ticket to Atlanta. I mean, they've got
Well,
4.
they might as well just stay there.
Well, you got to come back. Yeah, they can't stay, David. They got 3 weeks of the season left, but they can book their ticket. Yep. Anybody remember the last time they were in Atlanta?
You're gonna tell us.
Anybody?
Anybody? Well, you
Virginia
gotta wait
Tech
till they.
returning a
You gotta wait to see if they
interception
send it
ball.
in.
Yeah, Virginia Tech interception.
See if they anybody.
We're on the
respond.
Hokies tonight. I'm sure the chat might remember the last time Mizzou was in Atlanta. It's been a long time.
Oh, so Mizzou, Georgia will be in the middle of Breeders' Cup Saturday.
Yep.
So
So will Clemson Notre Dame.
we will have both. We have a second TV.
So will
David.
Clemson
David,
Notre Dame.
we have a second TV. We're going to be watching college football,
Oh, punt
and we're going
return.
to be watching horse racing, and we're going to be gambling all day. I don't know what a better day. And then the
Yeah.
next day, I got Friday Breeders' Cup betting horses. I got Saturday betting college football and horses, and Sunday I got bet NFL and betting horses.
Not this week. That's
No,
next
that's
week.
sounds like a horrible weekend.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite
Next week.
weekends of the year for sure. Yeah.
So the Breeders' Cup is
it
just.
sounds bad. You like part of it though.
Part of it.
All right.
Oh, Damien's up about 500.
Damien has never bet a horse in his life, and he hit 3 out of 4 at the track and won $500 yesterday. Who does that?
Dumb luck. Don't care. Won't. Not like I'll be going back there to do it again.
He says that now.
He says it does nothing for me. Put
To
500
be
in his
honest, I
pocket.
only went up there because I owed somebody some money and I wanted to pay them. So
Instead, you collected.
I went up there, and like my buddies were sitting there talking about one guy, I'll pick the 6 horse, I'll pick the 7 horse. I didn't even look at the program. I said, I'll take the 4 horse. I know nothing. Didn't look at nothing. Don't have any idea what the name of the horse was. Didn't have any idea who was riding the horse. Nothing. I just said, I'll take the 4 horse. Well, it won.
Yeah, at 11-1.
No, it was 6. The first one was 6-1.
Oh, the first one was 6-1.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay with the 4 horse in the next race. Well, I bet 20 across the board on the 4 in the next race. Well, it won. It was
11-1.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bet the 4 in the next race. Bet across the board, finish second.
So you got some place money on it.
I got the place in the show money.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And then I put a little bit on the next race, and it did not finish in the money. So I retired. I was happy when I won the race, but I didn't. It's not like I cared, other than the fact that I won the race. I don't know anything about it.
Right, you're just picking numbers, gambling.
It was just dumb luck.
It's like a slot
It's
machine.
like-
I get it,
It's
yeah.
like when your girlfriend decides to pick a team to win the pick 'em pool, and they like
Right.
they think the quarterback's cuter, or they like the team colors better.
Right.
That's all it was with me. I just picked the 4 horse, and I just stayed with it because it
There's
won.
probably some guys that pick that way too. But just saying, we're not.
It's called picking numbers.
Yeah, it's called picking numbers, and I
Yeah.
like it.
Just picking numbers. Gambling.
I don't care how you pick. It's so much fun to see, especially people that don't really follow the sport,
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
I'll go crazy. I study. I spend hours studying, and I get no winners. Although I did pick a couple winners yesterday. It was nice to actually know what it felt like. Go to the window a little bit. I didn't win on the day, but I didn't lose much.
Yeah.
It was a fun day. We had a good time. I decided if I don't hit any races, I leave after the 5th race, and if I hit a couple, I'll stay the whole card. But the races are actually becoming pretty good at Fairmont. I don't know. I'm having a good time there on Tuesday afternoons.
I thought they were done over there.
No, they go to late November. Yeah.
So usually it'd been stopping in September, but
Yeah, because they used to do during the summer. They were doing Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. They're just Tuesday, Saturday all the way through. I like it that
I
they're
like
going
that
longer.
better.
Yeah, I do
do
too.
2 days a week.
Because I'm
and then-
never going to go on a Friday or Saturday night. I'm not going
Right.
to never, but Tuesday afternoons, and the weather's been good almost every Tuesday.
It will be until this coming up Tuesday. It's supposed to be like 42 or something.
I don't
for the
care if it's
high.
cold, as long as it's not raining.
I don't think it's supposed to. I feel bad for the kids trick or treating next Tuesday. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
below freezing.
I will tell you this: I don't remember ever when my daughter was trick or treating. She didn't do it the last couple of years, I don't think, but ever like a nice trick or treat. Like it's always been crappy weather on. But hey, next Friday and Saturday, the 10-day forecast, Mr. Riffy has looked up. It's supposed to be beautiful, 65 and
for the
sunny
horses.
for horse
Right.
racing, and it's perfect to be outside with a TV out there. We're barbecuing. We're gonna
Yeah.
fry some fish,
Oh,
barbecue
okay.
some hamburgers.
All right.
John will be
There
there.
we go. I'll be there Friday.
We'll have the other TV for football.
Yeah. We'll have to see about Saturday. I'll be there
Yeah.
Friday.
If you don't like crappie, you like crappie?
I'll-
Fried crappie?
I'll eat it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's that. And we're having crappie and spaghetti on Saturday. Riffy's famous burgers on Friday.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
We'll have
Horrible.
to see about
Well, the
Saturday.
crappie sounds terrible.
Are you
The
kidding?
other part
Crappie's
is-
amazing.
I don't eat
Crappie's
any
amazing.
seafood.
Yeah. Little side of spaghettis.
Yeah,
We'll
so
be all ready to go.
Everything else sounded good except the crappie part.
Oh, the crappie's fantastic. Have you never eaten?
I don't-
You ever eaten it with
I don't like seafood.
it's not seafood.
It's fish.
Okay. All right, we got to get into some picks.
Yeah. Well, first, if Mizzou's able to pull that upset of the year in Athens, they are at home against Tennessee, at home against Florida, and they go to Arkansas, which if you can't beat Arkansas with everything on the line, you don't deserve anything anyway. Arkansas is pitiful. So Tennessee and Florida after that, that's not exactly a cakewalk, but regardless, Mizzou, I'm going to roll with the Tigers. They're going to be 10-point favorites. 10-point underdogs, rather.
Virginia Tech 13-0.
Yes, they're doing what I said they should do. Justice.
They are who you thought they were.
They are who I thought they are. Little justice in this world every once in a while, David.
All right.
You don't go into Lane Stadium on a Thursday night in Blacksburg, Virginia, when it's 43 degrees up in the mountains of Virginia, when you're in Syracuse, and come out with a win with the Fighting Hokies. Anybody know what a Hokie is, by the way?
I do, because you told me. It's an imaginary bird.
It's a mythical bird.
Yeah.
So the mythical birds are up 13-0 against the Orangemen. So let's do it.
All right, we got.
We'll get into NFL week 7 or wherever that. Week 8.
All right, Damian, you're up.
Oh, first of all, I'm laying the 9 with the Dolphins.
Okay.
Going to Miami. Laying the 9. They're at home?
Yeah.
Miami at home?
Yes.
Okay, Miami -9.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh in the 2.5.
Okay.
I'm going to take the
Plus
under,
2.5, right?
Yes, I'm going to take under 43.5 in Philadelphia, Washington.
Hold on, under what?
43.5 in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they're not going to score as many they did last time.
There's a rule, and I live by this rule, and I'm utilizing the rule for 2 games this week.
I like the under in that game.
Let me see here. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Seattle against the Deshaun Watson-less Browns, and Jerome Ford also being out for Cleveland.
Oh, wow.
What do you got?
That's a big loss. Seahawks.
Seattle minus the 3.5.
Minus 3.5.
And I'm going to play the over 46.5 in the Chiefs and Broncos.
I'm tired of betting the Chiefs in the over. I've lost 2 weeks in a row when they should have gone way over both games.
Well, you don't have to play them.
I'm just saying, yeah.
So those are going to be my 5 NFL picks.
All right. John, do you have any NFL?
No.
No. All right. I guess we're going to go to David's NFL. David's been doing pretty good this year. I should have left the Detroit game out. Yeah, tonight.
You were betting with your wallet more so than your brain on that one.
Yeah, tonight I'm going over 43. I like that. That's probably one of my better plays of the week. I like what Damian said. I'm going to under 43.5 on Washington. Washington game. I like that. And I'm taking the Jets minus 2.5. The Giants are playing better, but no. I like the Jets. Let's see what there's a. I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Panthers plus 3.5. What do you think about that, Damian?
I love home dogs coming off of a bye.
Okay.
Both teams are coming off of a bye.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that play.
Yeah. It's probably one I might even play Carolina money line. I got one more. I got to find it.
One of those things. We were talking about teams that might tank before the year. Carolina's not going to be one of them. Chicago owns Carolina's first round pick. Carolina's going to try to win. I'm not saying they're going to be able to, but they're going to try to win.
Yeah. I would take the Chargers minus the 8.5, but I'm with you. Their coaching play calling is horrible. I got to leave that alone. But I do see the Chargers if they can get their shit together. Yeah, he's terrible. I think my last pick. I don't know. Who's playing quarterback for the Browns this week? Parker?
No, the Watson's out. It's Walker.
Yeah. Walker. Yeah, plus 3.5. He's playing well. I don't know. One more. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna take Detroit. I'm gonna lay the points. Not only because I got them for the season. I think they're going to
Who
cover
are they
it.
playing again?
Here, hold on. I just passed it. I don't know why.
They're the Monday night game, I believe.
Yeah. Hold on.
Going to the last one.
Yeah, they're the Raiders.
They're playing the Raiders.
Yeah. Lions -8 on Monday night. Those are my 5. John, hit it.
We're going to go to the Little Apple. The Little Apple of Manhattan, Kansas. They call it the Little Apple because it's in Manhattan, not the Big
Is
Apple.
this a long story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting longer.
I know.
Yeah, the Little Apple. Y'all never heard of that before?
Yeah.
Where you been the last, 3 decades? We're going to go to the Little Apple of Manhattan, Kansas. We're going to take Houston plus 17.5. I don't know why this line's at 17.5. I'm taking the Cougars all day. Smith been playing good. Quarterback at Houston. Played good against Texas last week. Give me 17.5 with the way K-State's playing. I'll take that all day.
All day, he said.
All day. We're going to go to Orlando. Let's go to Central Florida and take Gus Malzahn in the Knights. UCF -7. I like that against the Mountaineers, West Virginia. Morgantown coming down to Orlando. And I was looking at SMU and Tulsa. SMU -21. SMU blew out Temple. Now it's Tulsa. Tulsa's not as bad as Temple, so I'll stay away from that one. Let's stay way away from that one. Let's go to the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Let's go to Jacksonville. Let's take Florida plus the 14.5. I'm going to go with the Gators because they're getting 14.5.
Actually, there's only a couple of college games I'm going to give out. That's actually one of them.
Okay.
Florida's had 2 weeks to prepare for that game. They've played much better here recently. Their offense actually looks like an offense.
We got a double beamer.
So,
Both of
Yeah,
you
we
like
got a
it?
double lock. It's the double lock Thursday. We need to get the Tecmo Bowl music. The first down. First down. So me and Damien both on Florida plus 14.5. I like it. I'm also going to go down to Austin, Texas. The Mormons are coming to town. They're coming to Texas, BYU, Texas. We're going to take BYU plus 19.
That was one of the other two I was going to.
BYU, what?
Give us 19 points. I don't know if
You too, Damien?
Quinn Ewers is playing, what's going on with him.
No, he's
Regardless, he's supposed to be out.
I like when you
Wow.
both agree on something.
Wow,
Do
give me
either of these
BYU plus
wait,
19
Do
all
either of
day.
these teams have a chance to win outright?
I would think BYU would, actually.
Yeah,
Actually,
I don't know.
think both of them might actually.
I might just bet a $10
Georgia-
parlay money line on that.
Georgia hasn't been that impressive.
Yep.
Wait, $10 money line parlay. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, let's see. 19 points, you're probably getting 10 to 1. 14.5, probably getting 7.5 to 1.
Yeah.
8 to 1.
So $10 to win
A lot.
a lot.
150.
More than that.
Way more
Oh,
than
yeah.
25 to 1.
I'm guessing that would
17.
$10 would pay 300.
Yeah, at least. At
You
least.
think it's 30 to 1?
At least.
Yeah,
okay,
well,
let's.
well, it's 17
I'm
times.
gonna pull up the old parlay calculator. You got me in quiz now. My brain's running wild trying to figure this out now.
BYU would be plus 720.
Has the NFL kicked off yet?
and Florida would be plus 480.
720. Or no, I'm sorry. Plus 720.
Plus 720.
Okay.
Plus 480.
Plus 720. Plus 1080.
Plus 480.
480.
It's not as big as I thought.
Oh, okay.
You already figured it out?
No.
Plus 480. Because I thought one of them be 10 to 1. I guess not.
Yeah, it's about 280. 10 to win 280.
Wow, you guys were right.
10 to win 280.
No.
46.50.
Really?
$100. A dollar. I'll put it in there as a dollar.
Just take off a zero. So
Right,
it's
right. I know.
465.
Yeah. 46.5 to 1.
465.
Yeah, so 10 to win $465.
Yep.
Nice.
Wow, that's bigger than I thought. Wow.
What I
I've never heard that, John.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm done.
I thought it'd be 25 to 1. You look up and it's 46 to 1.
I cracked myself up. What are
Wow.
you going to do?
Okay.
And then the other pick I'm giving out in college, by the way, is I'm taking Utah on the 6.5 against Oregon.
Utah getting
Yeah,
6.5.
I was looking at that.
Getting 6.5.
Getting 6.5 at home.
Yeah.
John would move that to 7.5.
You would.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a universe that I wouldn't move it to 6 and 7.5.
The NFL game is starting right now. So.
We need first touchdown.
Who got the ball first?
Woo.
Hopefully Tampa
Hey.
did. I want Godwin.
Tampa did get the ball first.
Come on, Godwin, first touchdown.
And they're punting.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's good for the over.
They're punting.
It's good for the. You know what's good for the over?
Tampa got a first down, 2 first downs, and then they punted.
You know what's good for the over? We need what's their faces? Buffalo to be up like 35-0 and a couple cheap touchdowns. That's what we need. Yeah.
The Wahoos are going to Miami, Damien. Virginia. Off the big upset against North Carolina. Going down to South Florida, taking their talents to South Beach.
There's a big line.
Tony Elliott and Virginia, plus 19.
So what are you taking?
Taking Virginia.
Okay.
And the 19 points. Against Miami, who shouldn't have won last week. But, they're playing a team that always snatches defeat from the jaws of victory.
Who did Miami play? I'm just kidding.
I don't know who.
Yeah, why you have to bring that up?
Yeah, I know. So it says Georgia is currently favored by 15 over Mizzou on DraftKings website. 15.
What did I say, 10? Wow, 15.
15.
Okay.
I thought it'd be bigger than 10.
Yeah, okay.
15 sounds about right.
Wow.
Mizzou's got an extra week to prepare for that game, so that's a big advantage for them.
Yeah, and they're taking Luther Burden down there. Luther Burden's going to be the best wide receiver in Athens.
And the other thing is Georgia's playing their cocktail party this week. So, I mean.
No, David says 15.5. I'm sorry, there's something blocking that, David. So 15.5. What do you think? I'm taking the 15.5.
You said plus 15.5.
Yeah, I thought I said 15.
Either way, whatever.
But I'm taking the 15.5.
Mizzou will have a lot of
I probably am too. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Brad? What's up, buddy? We do a show for DraftKings. Got any picks? What are we on tonight? If I know this guy like I think I do, he's on. What are we on? Some NBA stuff tonight? Yeah.
There's only 2
All right.
NBA games.
We got a bunch of player props, and then the Bills. We're on the Bills money line. Josh Allen over 230, and Baker over 170. All right, $5 to win 600.
$5 to win 600.
Yep.
Woo.
Yep.
We'll pull for them.
Yeah, why
Let's
not?
go.
Right? Why not? Right?
Let's go. Yep. Yeah. Sounds good. So yeah, Mizzou plus 15.5. There's not a world I'm not going to take that. I'm taking Mizzou plus 15.5. Absolutely.
So I can bet these. And parlay it with Mizzou next week already.
Sure. Yeah.
Probably not. He says.
Maybe they won't let you parlay the future one.
I don't think I'll let you do a 2-week.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Well, especially since Georgia's not in this.
Yeah.
No. I was going to say if Georgia was on both of them, you can't do that.
Right,
you definitely
right.
can't do that. Yeah, definitely can't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not sure if there'll be a show next week, just for y'all.
Yeah, we're maybe not.
Yeah, we're in limbo for next week.
We're going to say yes.
We'll see.
We're going to say yes with a maybe not.
Yeah. Doubt. Probable.
We're probable.
Yeah. Questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah. Questionable with a sprained ankle.
David might be on the injured reserve next week. Yeah.
Questionable with a sprained ankle, so we'll see.
Yep.
But one of my prop bets, I had a Shakur for Buffalo over 19.5 receiving yards. He caught the first pass for 14, so that's good.
It is
13. It's 13. So
I got to get ready for Breeders' Cup. I'm not doing a Breeders' Cup show. I'm sorry, not going to do it. I got to get ready. I got to be studying for Breeders' Cup. So I don't know if we're going to be able to have a show next week.
yeah. Well, I'm not even convinced I'd be able to make it next week. I don't know if I have to fill one in the poker league or not.
Clemson currently favored by 2 over Notre Dame.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the update there. That's interesting. Clemson minus
you,
2 against Notre Dame. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the Valley of be rocking. I don't know if they've announced
You-
the
we
game
w-
time
If
yet.
they were
but
undefeated, you probably would be going to that game.
I know, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I might go with.
My juices
No.
would have been rocking, you know.
I wouldn't have gone. It's Breeders'
it-
Cup weekend.
It would have
Oh, that's this
man.
weekend. What's
No,
next
that's
week?
next
Oh, it's next weekend.
next week. Yeah.
Who's
yeah,
comes to
I
play this
know
weekend?
that.
yeah. NC State.
NC State.
They're
that's right.
9-point favorites. Remember, I don't know if we can score 9.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Well, I already
I don't listen to everything you say,
I already-
John.
I already-
You should.
I already won
You're
one of
missing
my
out in
contests.
life, my
What's that?
man.
What's that?
Shakur over. Shakur's already got 38 yards.
Is that
for-
on my ticket?
No, it's on
Beautiful.
My,
So
it's
we're
on
already
Of course.
cashing.
It's on my ticket. So we're already.
We're already
Is
in
that
the
the
winner's
one Matt
circle.
did?
No,
Oh.
I have Kincaid over.
Oh, Kincaid. That's right.
Yeah, we are already
Yeah,
in
already.
the winner's circle.
Winner's circle.
Here it is. I can take it right in front of the camera.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell them what it
oh,
is.
Shakir receiving yards over 19.5. It's done.
It's done.
Lock it up.
See ya.
Cash in.
It's already at 34.
Yeah, very
Put that-
nice.
Put that in the winning column.
Hey, did we use him
Beautiful.
on our fantasy thing?
Yes, he is in our fantasy.
All right, we played a fantasy lineup. Damien put together for $1 million thing tonight.
Yeah.
Who's our captain? My captain, Josh Allen.
Allen. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to run with him.
All right. Well, I'm expecting Allen to have a big night tonight, or I do terrible because I got him all over the place. We didn't use Shakir. Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him. All right.
And Gabe Davis just caught back-to-back passes for Buffalo.
All right. We need Gabe Davis to hit a touchdown. Wait, who do we have for first touchdown?
We have Kincaid for Buffalo.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Buffalo's at the 29-yard.
Let's go, Bob. We need a touchdown. We need a Josh Allen, Gabe Davis touchdown, and David has a parlay on that. That pays some good money. So if there's a Josh Allen pass to Gabe Davis, David's going to make a little money. David's going to be free rolling on all his tickets tonight if that happens.
And
Yeah.
Buffalo is at the 24-yard line of Tampa right now.
All right, let's go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Can we bring that game up somewhere, John? Can you pull that up?
They're driving.
Is it on TV? No?
I'm sure it's on back there, but we can't.
Yeah. All right, hey, we got 2 minutes. John, what do you got left?
Let's go to Rocky Top. Let's go to Rocky Top. Let's go
Josh
Tennessee
Allen.
minus 3.5.
Tennessee minus.
3.5. They're on the road against Kentucky. I'm not a believer in Kentucky.
I want to
So-
see 6-0.
Give me Josh Heupel.
I will tell you that scares me. Kentucky is coming off of their bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. It's a bigger game for Kentucky. Tennessee just come off having their heart broken by the refs and Alabama. Very physical game. I would very, very strongly recommend you take Kentucky if you're going to play one of those two.
All right, is this on your sheet?
Yeah, give it to me. I'm going
All right.
I'm going to go off.
Plus 3.5. All right.
I can't believe in Kentucky.
I'd be willing to bet him a drink if he wants to bet a drink on it.
I just don't believe in
John
Devin
doesn't
Leary.
drink.
No.
Don't believe
So
in
you should
Devin
make the bet
Leary.
because you don't have to pay.
I barely drink.
I can't believe in
I
Devin
guarantee
Leary.
if you did it over hot wings, John's in on the bet
I don't know about hot wings.
or whatever, some kind of
Yeah.
casserole
Well,
with cheese.
regardless, I can't believe
You
in
don't want-
Devin Leary.
I can't cook.
Can't
What
believe
are you
in it.
trying to do? Give me to poison the poor guy?
You can buy it. All right, how we wrapping this up, John?
So Tennessee minus 3.5. We'll see how Devin Leary plays.
Looks like Buffalo's going to kick a field goal.
Oh no, come on.
You got plenty of time. Still got first.
No, I
touchdown
got
on
the
Godwin.
over. Got the
But you
over.
got first touchdown Godwin, don't you?
Yes, but
Godwin for Tampa and Kincaid
Well,
for
that
Buffalo.
keeps it alive.
I understand, but I want
1.5.
points. I got the over.
Got a lot of time left.
I also need Josh Allen to score 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go to Stillwater, where Mike Gundy has revitalized his season. He has put the save button on his season. 5-2, the Cowboys are. So let's go Oklahoma State minus 7 against a terrible Cincinnati team. I mean terrible. Cincinnati and Satterfield, their new coach, has been awful this year.
16-0 Virginia Tech.
and
Yeah.
Buffalo did make
Taking
the
care of
field goal,
business.
3-0 halfway through the first quarter.
So I said Virginia Tech in the under, right, on your ticket?
You got under 57.5,
Yeah.
under 30.
Yeah, because Syracuse isn't going to score.
But you got under 30.5 at halftime. Virginia Tech total points over 17.5. Well,
Yeah.
That's for the game?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Under 30.5, that's gonna, well, there's still 11 minutes left in the half.
All right.
So, they can't score two more touchdowns in the quarter.
Scored 2 more touchdowns.
Well, that's it. I said more than. Yeah, I said more than.
Yep.
I think
You're in great
probably-
shape
I
there.
think you're probably-
I said Syracuse isn't going to score much. They hadn't been scoring much all year. You don't go into Lane Stadium on a Thursday night and come out with a victory, Syracuse. So, yeah,
those are 2
that's
teams,
doing what we thought it should.
Those are 2 teams in completely opposite directions. I wouldn't going to touch the game myself.
Oh,
Like I said, Syracuse started out great, and they've
Yep.
completely collapsed. Virginia Tech started out horrifically, and they've played considerably better the last few weeks.
we need this Georgia Southern game. We had a touchdown and a half.
What's that score?
10-7 with 10 minutes.
Yeah,
left
we
in the
need
first
7.5 points.
Wow, 10-7. They've kind of slowed down. I thought, but it is a rivalry game. The Panthers coming down to play Georgia Southern in South Georgia. So.
Over 52.5.
Yep. They'll get some points. They'll pick up. Georgia State's been scoring all year, and Georgia Southern's at home. So
All right.
I like the Panthers tonight. I think they might come out with a win. They impressed
All right.
me against
Wrap,
Coastal.
wrap this up.
No, Oklahoma State,
I got it.
-7.
Got it.
They got a new quarterback, David. Mike Gundy saving his season. And that's all I got.
Okay. All right.
That's all I got.
Till
So
May-
recap that. What
Huh?
do we got? Recap it. We got Houston plus 17.5. UCF -7. The Gators plus 14.5 at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. BYU plus 19. The Mormons going in to play the Longhorns. And Virginia plus 19 against Miami. Gosh, that should hit. Virginia's looking much better. Tennessee -3.5. Rolling with the better team in Lexington.
11.5.
And then Oak State -7 against the woeful Cincinnati Bearcats. But that's all I got, David.
All right. We'll get us out of here. Hey, next week, 50-50. We'll have to see about next week.
Yep. We'll update you guys on next week. But for now, I'm Clemson John, Damian, and David for October the 26th, Week 9 of college football, Week 8 of the NFL. We are out of here.